Ryudo is an awkward loser who's never made eye contact with a girl, but after he's dared to ask out his crush, he confesses to the hottest girl in school, who strangely agrees to date him and let him hit it whenever he pleases. It all starts with Ryudo crushing over the school's most popular girl, Luna, and even though he wants to clap her, he knows she is way out of his league. Just then, he hears some guys who think Luna changes boyfriends like clothes and will let them all hit it if they try hard enough. However, Ryudo brushes these rumors off and focuses on how lonely he is despite being in his senior year of school. Just then, Luna pops up in front of him and asks for a pencil, which excites the pencil in Ryudo's pants. When he hands her the correct pencil, she starts filling out a form on his desk, but Ryudo's heart starts racing when he gets a peek of her bouncy castles. Despite the rumors, Ryudo notes how Luna is the type of person who gets along with everyone and admires her for it. After finishing her form, she hands him his pencil back, and seeing her cute face makes Ryudo realize his heart has been struck by Cupid. Later during lunch break, Ryudo hangs out with his only two friends, Iki and Nishi, who complain about their poor performance in a recent test. Ryudo tries to comfort them by saying he did poorly too, but they know he's capping, so they make a challenge that if Ryudo scores better than them, they will make him do a dare. As expected, Ryudo scores higher than both of them, so they order him to pick a girl he likes and confess to her. They think he will get dumped because his hair looks like an overused toothbrush, and it will make him realize what rock bottom feels like. Ryudo argues he doesn't even have a crush, but suddenly, Luna's face pops up in his head. His reaction confirms that he likes her, so now he has no choice but to follow up on the dare. After school, he heads to the locker room and leaves a note for Luna, asking her to meet him outside. So after school, he waits for her at the gate and she shows up looking for him. She starts laughing when she sees him looking so nervous and asks why he asked to meet her. Ryudo exhausts all his brain cells while trying to mutter out that he likes her. When she asks if there's anything specific he likes about her, he says she's really cute and her pom-poms look very bouncy. Ryudo prepares for a cold rejection and wishes the ground would swallow him, but to his shock, Luna politely accepts his proposal. She doesn't understand why he's so surprised because he was the one who asked her out, so when she questions if he wants to date her or not, Ryudo nervously agrees. She then asks him to walk home with her, and Ryudo, thinking it's a dream, wishes to never wake up. Meanwhile, his friends pass out in the bushes because they never expected Ryudo to pull a baddie like her in a million years.
Why ain't no way, boy?
On the way, Ryudo asks her why she agreed to date a loser like him, and she says it's because she wants to know him as a person and get to like him too. Ryudo is taken aback by her boldness, and she feels a little annoyed because everyone thinks she gets clapped by strangers at the club like your mom, when in reality, she's very picky when it comes to guys. She dates guys to find out if she can like them or not, but none of her relationships last long enough to find out. Soon after, they reach her home, and she invites him in, saying her parents are both out at work. Once inside, Ryudo enters Luna's bedroom and immediately creams because the only woman's bedroom he has been to was his mother's. When Luna leaves to get him a drink, he decides to goon to her plot armor collection.
I just love my dog!
However, he snaps out of it when Luna walks back in and serves him a drink. When she tells him to sit next to her in bed, his brain begins throttling because he can't handle being so close to such a beautiful girl like her. Before he knows it, Luna begins unbuttoning her shirt and asks him to join her in the shower so they can smash.
Oh my god!
However, Ryudo's virgin instincts kick in and he blurts out that it's too soon.
Oh, hell no, man.
Luna is shocked because she believes all guys ever want is to get their wee-wee jort. But Ryudo says that he wants the relationship to mean something before they clap. When Luna says she felt that allowing her boyfriends to hit that was more like a duty, Ryudo realizes that Luna's previous boyfriends only dated her because they wanted to smash, so now she thinks this is all there is to relationships. Ryudo wants her to experience a good, healthy relationship, so he agrees to bury his sausage in his pants until she's ready. As she walks him outside, Luna compliments him because she hasn't had a boyfriend as sincere as him before. Ryudo then assures her he doesn't have any other girl in his life, and she doesn't need to worry about him cheating because he will only clap her once they get to know each other better. Hearing this, Luna replies that she'll let him know when the time comes and that she hopes they'll like each other even more by then. The following day, Ryudo heads to school and figures that he's still a boring nerd even if he's now dating Luna. During the first period, Luna shows up late but doesn't forget to blow Ryudo a kiss when she settles in, and it makes Mr. Simp lose his mind. That afternoon, Ryudo opens up to his friends about going to Luna's house yesterday, and they grow disappointed in him because he passed up a golden opportunity to smash.
You're a disgrace to the game!
when Ryudo tells them he wouldn't miss the next chance that pops up. Nishi asks if he really thinks Luna will take him seriously, because Luna might just be using him as her plaything. Hearing this, Ryudo starts to consider the possibility, but the next time he meets Luna, she acts all nice to him and even flashes him a bit of her milkers. Yet when he tries to get a good look, Luna's bestie Nicole catches him and shoots him the side eye. As time goes on, Luna acts all lovey-dovey with Ryudo, and it makes everyone in class grow jealous of him. When he's had enough, he pulls Luna aside and begs her to keep their relationship a secret. Luna says she's fine with it, but as she asks when she gets to talk to him, he tells her during the weekends. Hearing this makes Luna assume that Ryudo wants to take her out on dates, so she looks forward to it, though she mentions she has plans on Sunday. Shocked, Ryudo spends the next 6 hours at home trying to figure out a good idea for a date with Luna. Later on, Luna FaceTimes him and asks where he's taking her tomorrow, so he panics and suggests the movies. When she asks what kind of movies he hopes to see, Bro pauses because he frequents the cinema once a year. Curious, Luna asks why he's taking her out, and he simply says he'd like to know her better. He then asks what she does for fun because he can't come up with anything interesting for their date. So Luna smiles and tells him they should go out and do something she likes. Hearing this, Ryudo freaks out, thinking Luna might take him to Pound Town. So he gets his rubber set just in case. However, his smashing hopes are crushed when he finds himself going shopping with Luna the following day. After shopping for hours, Luna takes a break at a restaurant and enjoys a drink with Ryudo, who she thinks is bored. When asked if he's okay, Ryudo can't exactly tell her he was expecting a love hotel, so he claims he had fun while shopping with Luna. Hearing this makes Luna blush a little, but as Ryudo sees her cute side again, he realizes he's falling deeper in love with her. Soon, Nicole calls, and when Luna tells her she's on a date with Ryudo, Bro starts panicking, thinking Nicole doesn't want him anywhere near Luna. The following day, he freaks out because Luna has left him on read, and it's never happened before. As he recalls that Luna told him she had plans for Sunday, he starts thinking she's gone to get inched by Johnny Sins and decides to clear his head by finishing 5 hand lotions. The following day, he shows up at school and gets sad when he sees Luna talking to a group of guys, so his friends console him and welcome him back to their shared miserable life. That evening, when he gets home, Luna texts him to meet her at a station, and he becomes convinced that she wants to break up with him. As he strolls down to meet her, he wishes he hadn't turned down smashing her, but when he finally reaches her, she shows him a limited edition phone case she got for him and tells him she went through hell to buy it, which was why she couldn't reply to his messages on time. Hearing this shocks Ryudo to the extent that his heart and something else start swelling with affection. He tells her he still can't believe that someone as cute as her would settle for a bum like him as a boyfriend. He also mentions that he was sure she'd dump him in a heartbeat, but begins to thank her because she went out of her way to surprise him. Hearing this, Luna smiles at him and gets excited because they now have matching phone cases, and it turns out she got them to celebrate a week of having a new boyfriend. When she tells him she was a bit worried he wouldn't like the gift, Ryudo decides to tell her he's asked out another girl in the past. Luna gets curious after hearing this and asks to hear about his love story, so he opens up to her. Back then, Ryudo had a seatmate named Maria, who was a petite baddie most men would die for. Apparently, he fell in love with her because she always showered him with sweet compliments, and it got to his head. One day he grew a pair and asked her out, but rather than accept, she put him in the friend zone, and since then, he lost his confidence talking to girls. Presently, Luna feels bad for Ryudo after hearing his story, but she tells him to be grateful because if he were still dating Maria, then he wouldn't have asked her out. To this, Ryudo scoffs and tells her that relationships between young adults don't last long, but Luna argues that it isn't true. To back her point, she tells him her mom and dad started dating in their first year, and they got married as soon as they graduated high school. She mentions that she'd like to experience something like that, but that's when a cool supercar speeds past them. Ryudo enters nerd mode and starts giving a lecture about cars no one asked for. Since Luna's about as smart as a brick, she loses a bunch of brain cells while listening until Ryudo stops and apologizes for going too far. However, she brushes it off as no big deal since she hasn't seen him talk so much before. She then compares herself to a sports car, saying she was racing forward because she wanted to be like her mom and dad. She adds that she wanted to become an adult as fast as she could, which was why she became as experienced as Mia Khalifa at a young age. Now, she realizes that getting run through like that never works out, because her mom ended up getting a divorce. She also tells Ryudo that although she's had grown-up experiences, she's still a little girl at heart, so Ryudo sweet-talks her into cheering up. Later that evening, Luna tells Nicole over the phone that the surprise thingy went well. Hearing this, Nicole tells her not to try too hard to impress Ryudo, but Luna tells her that being with Ryudo makes her feel more like herself, and she'll keep dating him for a while. Before ending the call, Nicole tells her to keep her eyes open because she doesn't trust Ryudo at all. The following day, everything starts normally in class as Ryudo smiles at Luna while they lock eyes. However, when the teacher enters and introduces Maria as the new transfer student, Ryudo is left completely shocked. Seeing Maria for the first time in years makes him flash back to the time when she rejected him. But when he recalls he has a girlfriend that's as hot as Megan Fox, he relaxes his mind as if he's made it in life. Maria, however, introduces herself to the class, asking her mates for help to show her the ropes of the school. And as expected, all the thirsty boys look forward to it. All the while, Ryudo marinates in his thoughts, assuming that Maria wouldn't recall the thing that happened between them in the past, and figures he should stay far away from her. But as fate would have it, the only free space in the class is the one beside Ryudo, and the teacher makes Maria sit there, leaving Ryudo completely shocked. After the first period, Maria talks to Ryudo, telling him she's happy to sit beside him and that they should be friends. As Bro gets friend-zoned again, he realizes he needs to run away from her or else it'll leak that he asked her out in the past. When he decides to exit the class, Nicole bumps into him and tells him to follow her. Later that afternoon, he's forced to join her on a date at a restaurant, where she keeps shooting him the side eye for like 10 minutes. When Ryudo has had enough, he asks if he's done something wrong, so she tells him to zip it until she's done with her meal. A while later, she asks him if he's aware that Luna's birthday is on Sunday, and when she notices he had no idea, she yells at him for not taking Luna seriously. Though scared, Ryudo summons the courage to ask what Luna likes so he can get her a birthday present, but Nicole insists he ask Luna himself. However, when Ryudo says he wants to surprise Luna, she agrees to tell him everything she knows about Luna. But she doesn't notice that someone's taking pictures of her and Ryudo. The following day, Ryudo meets Luna at the station on his way to school, and the first thing she asks is if he was on a date with Nicole. After Ryudo confirms it, he asks if she's free on Sunday because he'd like to celebrate her birthday with her. Hearing this, Luna realizes why he went out with Nicole, and she agrees to hang out with him, though he spends the next hour apologizing for not asking about her birthday earlier. As Luna walks away to school, Ryudo wonders if she attacked him like that because she was jealous or something, but he brushes it off and figures he'll spend time planning what her birthday would be like. On the birthday, he takes her to a restaurant to try out her favorite drink, which is bubble tea, and he notices how happy she gets when she drinks it. When she opts to pay for her tab, he refuses and tells her it's on him because it's her birthday, so she thanks him for it. A few days ago, when Nicole told him Luna liked bubble tea, he went on a tea hunting spree to see why Luna likes the drink so much. Now, he ends up giving a lecture about tea no one asked for, leaving Luna confused. When she gets her brain back, she figures that Ryudo must like bubble tea so much, but she's shocked when he tells her he drank lots of it so he could take her to the best spots that sell it. After thanking him for the gesture, she tells him they should check out other shops for the said drink, and he agrees. After an hour, they visit like 3 different places, and Ryudo makes sure to give each shop a rating on his map. At their last stop, Luna decides to give Ryudo a sip from her drink, and the loser freaks out because it's an indirect kiss. As he sucks it down his throat, his heart as well as his sausage swells with affection, and he turns red. Afterward, he figures he should tell Luna about Maria, but when he's about to do it, he gets distracted by a guy giving his girlfriend a gift. Seeing this makes him consider getting Luna a gift, but when he takes out his wallet, he realizes that he's 1,000 yen away from being broke. He then apologizes, asking if there's anything she'd like him to get, so she insists on taking his map. She tells him she loves it since it's the only document that contains her favorite spots in the world, and she wants to keep it as a memento because no one has done anything like this for her. She promises to take good care of it, and her smile at the end makes Ryudo fall deeply in love with her. The following day, Ryudo shows up at school happy as ever, but his mood shifts when he begins to hear weird rumors about Luna. One dude says Luna gets boyfriends to do her bidding, and then jumps to the next guy after draining him dry, while a chick says Luna never touches her wallet on dates. As Ryudo hears all of these, he wonders what's going on, because although Luna has always attracted all kinds of rumors, these ones feel different. During lunch break, he joins his friends at the rooftop to chill, but that's when Nicole shows up looking for him. Immediately, Ikki and Nishi run for their lives because they can't exactly stand Nicole's intimidating eyes. Ryudo, although scared, thanks Nicole for helping him out the other day because Luna's birthday was a success. But Nicole brushes that off because she's more interested in the rumors about Luna. The following day, Ryudo shows up at school and is a bit flustered when Maria offers him some sweets. After he takes it, the next thing he knows, he's sharing books with her, and she claims she forgot hers at home. Maria takes the opportunity to touch his fingers, and since he's a loose captain, most of his seamen almost dive out his ship. While he struggles to hold it down, Maria apologizes for turning him down the way she did years ago, claiming she did it because she didn't understand the concept of dating someone, as she tells Ryudo he's special. Bro realizes he'll get friend-zoned for the millionth time if he follows her lead, so he tells her he has a girlfriend. Curious, Maria asks if his girlfriend is in the school, but he refuses to tell her. After their conversation, he walks away thinking that people will make fun of Luna if it's revealed that he's dating her. However, he snaps out of it when he sees Luna following a guy into an empty classroom. Apparently, the dude wants to ask Luna out, so Luna tells him she's in a relationship. She refuses to mention who her boyfriend is, and the dude assumes it's because the guy's a loser. But Luna tells him she's cool with revealing her boyfriend, only that he's super shy. Hearing this shocks Ryudo because he initially thought she was embarrassed of him, but while he thinks about it, Maria shows up and starts telling him about the circulating rumors. Turns out she believes it, and it gets Ryudo pissed because he doesn't see Luna as a gold-digging, trifling hoe. So he gets fed up and announces that Luna's his girlfriend. Hearing this shocks everyone in class, and some thirsty guys start wondering what he's on because there's no way a bum like him can bag Luna. But when Luna confirms that she's dating Ryudo, all the guys start thinking they have a shot at her. Soon, some girls realize that the rumors about her were false, and it pisses Maria off, so she leaves the class to get some air. Ryudo, who already figures she's the one behind the rumors, runs after her to ask why she did it, and when he does, she tells him it's because she wants to be the #1 in the school. She then reveals that Luna is her twin sister, and it shocks Ryudo because both girls have different last names. Maria tells him it's because her parents got divorced, and she moved in with her mom and took her last name. Deep down, Maria wishes she weren't Luna's sister because ever since they were little, Luna was the one getting all the attention, unlike her, who had trouble expressing her feelings. Back when her parents got divorced, she hated that she had to change her name and felt like she was treated unfairly. Presently, she feels the only way she'll ever be happy is if she becomes a lovable girl like Luna, which is why she's worked so hard to change herself. However, it hurts her that despite everything, Luna is still the #1 in class, which is why she spread the rumors to tarnish her image. After she opens up, Ryudo begins to understand how she feels, but he tells her it'll be painful if she tries to be more like Luna. He then advises her to become someone likable, and as she thinks about it, she slips and Ryudo catches her. Despite that, she tells him to go away and starts crying right after. As Ryudo heads back to class, he bumps into Nicole, who surprisingly commends him for announcing his relationship with Luna. While he walks Luna home, he tells her he only revealed their relationship because he was tired of people getting the wrong impression about her. Hearing this makes Luna happy, but she then brings up Maria and apologizes for not telling him about her sooner. Curious, she asks why he didn't believe the rumors because they had only just met. So Ryudo tells her he likes how she is now and doesn't care about her past. Meanwhile, at school, Maria sits alone, wondering why she's having feelings for Ryudo. The following day, Ryudo feels skeptical about going to school because everyone now knows he's dating Luna, but when he shows up, he's treated normally. After school, he decides to hang out with Luna, who insists on knowing what he likes to do for fun, so he tells her he's into video games but leaves out his addiction to hand lotion. He then plays a live stream of a popular gamer named Ken, and as she gets closer to him to watch it, Ryudo becomes tense and starts getting the urge to kiss her. So the next morning, he consults his jealous degenerate friends for tips on how he'll get kinky with Luna, but they end up telling him he doesn't have what it takes to do it. As Ryudo realizes it might be true, he settles on finding a way to hold hands with Luna, so after he's done with his friends, he asks Luna out on a date and she agrees. Turns out, he wants to take her for a boat ride and intends to create a scenario where she falls, so he'll have to hold her hands. In class, he gets lost in thought and he fails to answer a question the teacher asks. When Maria notices that he isn't paying attention, she decides to help him out and he thanks her for it. After that, she asks Ryudo if he hates her for spreading those rumors about Luna, so he tells her he's over it. Hearing this makes her smile, but she quickly fakes a hard face so Ryudo doesn't think she likes him. On Saturday, Ryudo meets Luna as planned and takes her to an amusement park so they can get on a boat. But before that, Luna gives Ryudo a homemade meal she made for him, so he snacks on it and realizes it tastes good. After the meal, Ryudo takes Luna with him and pays for a boat ride. As she's about to enter the boat, she slips, so Ryudo rushes to catch her, but he misses. Thankfully, Luna regains her balance and enters the boat, while Ryudo becomes sad because he's missed his only ticket to holding hands with her. While on the ride, he looks forward to another opportunity when they get off the boat, but when the time comes, Luna doesn't slip like before. He gets frustrated and walks her out of the park, but along the way, Luna notices his dull mood and tells him to say what's on his mind already. She thinks he's tired of her and wants to break up because the silent treatment is what her exes used on her when they wanted to dip. However, when she voices out, Ryudo tells her he isn't breaking up with her. He then asks her to join him for another boat ride, and she agrees on the spot. This time, Ryudo decides he'll stop being a loser, so he gets on the boat first and lends Luna his hand so she can join him. Finally, they hold hands, and Bro starts blushing like he's won a lottery or something. A while later, Luna tells him she's always wanted to hold his hands and reveals that she's been trying to get closer to him for that reason. Ryudo also tells her he's wanted to hold hands with her, so after hearing this, she pulls closer and gives him a friendly kiss. This kiss shocks Ryudo because he wasn't expecting it, so after the ride he acts like a gentleman and helps Luna get off the boat. On the way home, Luna tells him to start calling her by her first name, but he stutters while trying to do it, and it makes her giggle a bit. As they hold hands again, she realizes Ryudo's hands are cold, so he tells her it's because he's nervous. Hearing this, Luna decides she'll warm him up, joking that he wouldn't feel nervous if he had smashed her back then. However, she looks forward to growing their relationship and enjoying all the 6 inches of benefits when the time is right. In the meantime, Maria sits alone trying to study, but can't get anything in her head because she's thinking about Ryudo. Again, she admits she's fallen for him and decides that she'll become Luna and steal him away. A few days later, Ryudo joins Luna at a restaurant and helps her with her studies. About 5 minutes in, he realizes that Luna is all beauty without the brains, and spends the next hour explaining basic homework. Once they're done, Luna reminds Ryudo that Saturday will make them a month since they started dating. She intends to go to the beach to celebrate their journey so far, and flashes a bit of her milkers to convince him to join her. When Ryudo sees them, he spaces out, picturing her in a bikini, and mindlessly agrees to follow her to the beach. The following day, Luna gets excited when she sees her test scores because all her studying with Ryudo has paid off. But as Ryudo sees that she scored a 40, he begins to wonder just how dumb she is. Curious, Luna asks to see his test score, and she's shocked when she realizes he scored an 87. Maria sees everything from a distance and decides to meet Ryudo after class. There, she begs him to tutor her, but he turns her down because he's already promised to help Luna. As Maria insists on studying with him before the summer vacation starts, he tells her to meet Ikki, and she refuses. Instead, she asks for his phone number, and Ryudo gives it to her, but warns that he won't text her. On Saturday, she texts him asking if he'll be free to study next week, so Ryudo replies that he'll be having summer classes by then. As she asks when next he'll be free, Luna shows up, so he leaves her on read and joins her at the beach. Seeing her dressed in a bikini makes him almost crack a quick one at a corner, and he ends up thanking the gods of anime for blessing him with a hot chick who has all that milk. While he struggles to hold down all the curse energy built up in his pants, Luna begs him to rub baby oil sunscreen on her back, and he realizes he was bound to become Sir Camelot. While he massages her back, she tells him to reach under her swimsuit, and since he's barely holding it in, he decides to carry out complex calculations in his mind to stay sane. When he's done, he realizes he needs to respect all guys out there who rub sunscreen on their girlfriends like it's nothing, because he was 2 minutes away from spilling milk on Luna's cake. As time goes on, Ryudo plays with Luna at the beach, and he also enjoys a nice meal with her. At some point, he tells her he likes how her swimsuit fits on her body, so she smirks because she had to test run like 50 of them. That evening, it starts to rain heavily, so Ryudo and Luna are forced to book a hotel room for the night. As they enter the room, Ryudo, dumb as ever, tells Luna to go ahead and take a shower without him. Even when Luna gives him the green light to join her, he refuses, claiming he isn't cold yet. As Luna leaves to do her thing, Ryudo crashes out because he has never spent the night with a girl before, and he's scared that he might become a father by morning. He then tries to calm himself down with some sit-ups, and that's when Luna finishes from the shower. Seeing him like that makes her think he's a gym bro with a six-pack, but Ryudo prevents her from touching his stomach because he has one big pack. Afterward, he heads to the bath to freshen up, but while he's taking a shower, he wonders if Luna wants him to smash or not. When he's done, he joins Luna to have tea and notices that she looks more like Maria when she doesn't have her makeup on. Noticing his stare, Luna acts shy and tells him to stop looking, but he tells her she looks cute and young without makeup, and it makes her blush hard. Soon, they both lie down to sleep. But like 2 hours in, Ryudo is wide awake because all his inches are facing the 12 o'clock direction. Out of concern, Luna asks if he can hold it in for the whole night and tells him, but the resistant loser doesn't take her for it. He begins yapping about how he doesn't want her to develop plot with him out of pity or duty, but even as Luna tells him she's down for it, he ends up giving her 69 reasons why they shouldn't smash yet. As a result, Luna is forced to stay the night with shaky legs, but at least she gets to hug him and hold hands. In the meantime, Maria is up, wondering why Ryudo picked Luna over her. but smiles when she thinks about something wild. The following day, Ryudo drops Luna off at her place and walks home tired because he didn't sleep the whole night. On the way, he bumps into Nicole, who forces him to try out a meal she made at the restaurant where she works. As he swallows everything, Nicole asks how it's going with Luna, so he tells her everything is fine, though he leaves out the part where he's too scared to smash. Nicole tells him Luna is the clingy type and that her exes called her a burden and dumped her because of it. She then reveals that Luna has been jinxed by the 2-month barrier, because in 2 months, either Luna gets dumped or cheated on. She feels Luna will be worried by now since she's been with Ryudo for over a month, and advises Ryudo not to do anything stupid. Though Ryudo is a bit shocked to hear this, he promises to simp hard for Luna and remain a loyal boyfriend until Annie Ender Recap stops introducing anime protagonists as disgusting losers. Later, on his way home, he receives a call from Maria, but hears Luna's voice instead. Luna claims she's at her mom's place, and she's borrowing Maria's phone because hers is dead. She then tells him she'd like to talk privately at school, and although Ryudo is already tired, he decides he'll go see her. However, when he gets there, Luna tells him she can't hold it anymore and begs him to clap her at the spot, leaving him shocked. Meanwhile, the real Luna is in her dad's house, bragging over the phone about how Ryudo is her only loyal boyfriend or not. Back at school, Ryudo finally agrees to smash, but he doesn't realize that he's talking to Maria and not the real Luna. However, when Maria hugs him, he notices she isn't as bouncy as normal and figures out that she's Maria. Thinking back, it hits Ryudo that she was the one who called him earlier, and she confirms it, revealing that she can fake Luna's voice. Curious, he asks why she did it, so she tells him it's because she wants him to take her to Pound Town. She insists she'll keep acting like Luna if he doesn't feel comfy with her usual look, and offers to give him her first time, unlike Luna, whose body count is 3 digits long. When she gets no response from Ryudo, she pushes him against a wall and begs him to just hit once, with no strings attached. Smelling her desperation, Ryudo declines smashing her because he doesn't want to hurt Luna's feelings, and also because it wouldn't be fair to Maria herself. As he's about to leave, he hears the security guy coming toward the room, so he uses the window before he gets caught. Outside, he wonders if Maria wanted him to clap her as a way to take revenge on Luna, but she says it isn't like that because she likes him. Hearing this shocks Ryudo to his bones, but he listens as Maria tells him she's liked him ever since he called her out on spreading rumors about Luna. She tells him she can't help it and doesn't know what to do with the feelings she has for him. Thinking back, she realizes this is how Ryudo must have felt when she curved him, so she apologizes for it. When she gets emotional and starts crying, Ryudo feels the need to console her, but he hesitates because he doesn't want to prolong her suffering. As he tries to leave, Maria holds him back, begging him to become the shoulder she can cry on for the night, and he agrees, but doesn't notice that someone's watching them. The following day, Ryudo shows up at school like yesterday didn't happen, but is shocked when everyone at school starts calling him a cheat. His friends pull him aside and show him a picture of him and Maria, so after class, he confronts Maria to ask if she's behind it. This time, she claims she isn't, but as he's about to exit the classroom, Luna sees them together and realizes Maria is the chick who rejected him in the past. Scared, Ryudo starts to apologize, and it makes Luna assume he's done something freaky with Maria already, so she runs off in tears. Nicole, who's watching, slaps Ryudo in the face and calls him a disgusting creep, and then walks away. As the days pass, Luna keeps crying over her relationship, and it makes Ryudo reflect on his actions every day. For like 2 weeks, he keeps flooding Luna's phone with apology messages, but notices no response from any of them. In the meantime, Ikki and Nishi are having a field day staring at hot chicks at the beach because it's summer. However, they're shocked when they see something, so they send a message to Ryudo. Ryudo, who's in summer class, checks his phone, and when he sees a picture of Luna hanging out with some dude, he dashes out to meet her and makes things right. Upon reaching the beach, he sees Nicole and Luna hanging out with a guy named Mao, and as they lock eyes, Ryudo realizes he's lost Luna because he can't compete with a guy like Mao. On the other hand, Mao welcomes him into the restaurant, and his presence shocks Nicole and Luna because they weren't expecting him. Ryudo tells Luna he'd like to talk to her, but he claims he might be late because she's with Mao now. Upon hearing this, Mao clears things up by introducing himself as Luna's uncle, leaving Ryudo shocked and a bit relieved. Afterward, Mao serves Ryudo a drink and drags Nicole away to allow room for Ryudo and Luna to talk. First, Ryudo starts by apologizing for not telling Luna about Maria. Then he goes on to tell Luna that Maria asked him out, He reveals that he turned Maria down, but stayed back to console her because she was crying, and that might have been when the picture with her was taken. Lastly, he apologizes to Luna for making her worry so much, but Luna insists she's the one who's meant to be sorry because she jumped to conclusions and thought he cheated. She then tells him she gets why Maria fell for him, which is because he's a good person. She reveals that although Maria looks strong on the outside, she's a really sensitive person, and it's no mistake that she asked Ryudo out. Surprisingly, Luna likes that Ryudo stayed with Maria while she was crying, and she thanks him for it, leaving Ryudo shocked. Curiously, he asks why she didn't text back, so she tells him it's because her phone is bad and she hasn't repaired it yet. She then opens up that she wasn't angry with him, only that she was scared to confront him about what happened. Meanwhile, she likes that Ryudo came all the way to see her and fix things. So later that evening, Ryudo joins Luna home, and since his self-esteem is about as tall as his sausage, he begins stuttering to introduce himself. After that, Sayo welcomes him, while Mao heads off to prepare the shower since Ryudo is staying the night. As for Luna, she asks Ryudo to spend the rest of the summer with her, and he agrees, not knowing that Luna wants him to stay with her until she goes back to her dad's house. He's flustered when he finds out, but realizes it's too late to decline because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. Ryudo dreams about gooning to Luna, but all of a sudden, she wakes him up, and he sees she's literally inches away from his sausage. That's when it dawns on him that he'll get to sniff for seals for the rest of the summer he's staying with her. Later that day, he tries helping out by attending to customers, but he stutters almost as badly as you when trying to pick up baddies. Thankfully, Luna comes in for a save, so she deals with handling the folks while he does the manual lab. After a while, Ryudo receives a package from his mom containing some of his clothes and school books. He then goes back to work, but after a while, Luna tells him to take a break. The nerd who doesn't have any hobbies to do the latter to avoid Luna's fearsome gaze. Moments later, two losers show up and try to riz her into having some fun with them, but she struggles to reject them due to her position. Ryudo notices them and nearly wets himself because they are way out of his league, and his low self-esteem kicks in. After seeing them pressure his babe, he grows a pair and tells them to back off. He stutters like crazy while asking them what they want, and when they see the weirdo, they get irked, so they take their leave. To spite him, they ask Luna who she'd pick between them and Ryudo, but she shocks them by hugging Ryudo and telling them he's that guy. After they leave, Luna thanks Ryudo for manning up to them and praises him for studying during his free time. She concludes he wants to be the next Steve Jobs, and then tells him about how her friends have plans for their future, unlike her, who simply wants to be his baby mama. It shocks Ryudo so badly that he has shower thoughts about starting a family with Luna. After his bath, he overhears her telling Sayo she wants to make meat and potatoes for Ryudo, but they are out of potatoes. Realizing she has been heard, Luna tells Ryudo she'll be going shopping for groceries and he tags along. They go to the nearest grocery store and get their items. On their way back, Luna sees Ryudo struggling with the baggage, so she offers to help him with one. The scrawny lad tries to show off, but as soon as she tells him she won't let him hit, he lets go. When they get home, they prepare the meal, and Granny Sayo leaves the couple alone in the kitchen, where Luna feeds her boo, and he praises her cooking. She finally understands and admits what it feels like to date. Meanwhile, Maria returns home, and her mom tells her about how the old crone has invited them to spend the summer at her place in Chiba. But once Maria learns that Ryudo is there with Luna, she cooks up an excuse, saying she'll pass. Once Sayo gets the news, she tells Luna and Ryudo, and they wonder if it's because they are around. Luna opens up about how she was shocked to see Maria at their school, and despite them being at polar ends, she cares for Maria a lot, and Nicole is the only person she has revealed to that they're sisters. She then tells him that she plans to be friends with Maria and would like him to become one too. While they talk, Mal returns from work and hands Luna her phone, so she quickly tries to catch up on trends and doom scroll a lot. Ryudo gives her a good look, and it sends a signal down his Johnny. She then has him do the latest TikTok trends. Later, Mao hands Ryudo his wages for helping out, which shocks him because he always thought he was used as free labor. Mao then advises him to use the money to get stuff for Luna since it's their 2-month anniversary. Ryudo goes through the stores and sees something that piques his interest. When he gets back home, Luna calls him, and he sees her in a beautiful yukata. He blushes and calls her cute, then she tells him to change into an extra spare they have at the inn. Later that evening, they head to town when the festival begins and have lots of fun. After a while, Luna looks for a moonstone ring, but the shop owner tells her they are out of stock. She then wanders off with Ryudo into the night, and Ryudo opens up to her about how it's his first time trying a lot of things with her. She recounts how the first thing her dad gave her mom was a candy apple, and she always dreamed she would marry the first person she dated, just like her mom. Luna suddenly stops and feels sad because she cannot relate to Ryudo, who is a total noob. She cries as she wishes it were her first time doing all that stuff they did earlier and regrets having memories of such. She's glad Ryudo gets to share his first times with her, but she doesn't have any for him. He proves her otherwise by informing her that even though it's not her first time having fun in a festival, if she feels something new and different with him, then he's happy. He reminds her of the moments they had and how every single time she shared those feelings with him. With that said and done, he brings out a gift and tells her it's for their 2-month anniversary. She is shocked he remembers, and when he opens the box, she sees it's a moonstone ring just like the one she wanted. He waffles on about how he had gotten it earlier before it went out of stock. And to his surprise, Luna cries and thanks him, saying meeting him was the best present she's ever gotten. He wears the ring on her finger and tells her they should try a lot of things together, reminding her that they live in different worlds, which means they have a lot of first times. As she adores the ring, the fireworks kick off, illuminating the night sky. As they enjoy the beautiful view, Luna clings onto him, asking if she can stay that way till the fireworks end. He agrees, and she tells him that with the way her feelings for him are growing, she's sure the time will come when she'll want to go wild on his longsword. With that, they confess to each other and lock lips. After the end of their summer vacation, they resume for a new term and, according to the norm, change their seats. One morning, Luna chats with her friends and sees Maria, so she tries talking to her, but Maria snubs her and walks off. Ryudo sees them and recalls Luna's wish to be close to Maria again, but he sees that there's no progress, so later that day on the rooftop, he hangs out with his friends, who are reeking with jealousy because of how his summer vacation went, unlike theirs. To make up for it, Ryudo then invites them to play survival games with Luna and their friends. At the venue, the girls show up in their armor, and the boys are stunned. Ikki gets a whiff of their scent, and it revs his chainsaw. Suddenly, Luna's friend, Akarai, approaches Nishi and casually speaks to him after realizing they were once in the same classroom. He barely stops himself from creaming because it's the first time a girl has spoken to him. Nicole also speaks to them, and the boys promise to subscribe to her OnlyFans, but once they see Ryudo acting all lovey-dovey with Luna, they are infuriated. Nicole then asks them if she's not enough for them. Minutes later, their battle commences, with Akari Luna and Ryudo as Team Red versus Team Yellow. Akari takes out Nishi while they ambush Ikki. Left alone, Nicole fires at Luna, but Ryudo acts as a meat shield, receiving the attacks for her. Luna and Nicole then face off, and Luna lands a hit, securing the victory for her team. She then apologizes to Ryudo for being careless, but he tells her to chill out and it's just a game. Nicole, on the other hand, trimmed her nails while complaining that they kept getting stuck while she tried pulling the trigger earlier. She then grabs a Glock and sprays her heart's content on everyone till she's satisfied. After the match, Luna looks for her earring but can't find it, and Nicole says it's her special piece of jewelry. Ryudo helps her look for it, but Luna finds it in her purse. Ryudo then notes that she must have been wearing it on their dates, but her melons distract him a lot. Later, they hang out at a coffee shop and discuss how the game went. Upon hearing Akari discuss the airgun, Ikki loses his cool and rambles on like a geek about the gun types. To their surprise, Akari catches on with him, but she tells him she has a lot of things she's got her hands into, especially her favorite band. She enters the zone and talks about the band so much that the others realize she's also a nerd. Nicole then reveals she's a nail freak, and she also proceeds to waste precious screen time ranting on nails and the like. Luna tells them that she wishes she had what she can rant about, but Nicole reminds her about Ryudo, which causes Luna to blush. Nicole then tells them about how she can't get over her ex, who she found cool back then for listening to Buddhist sutras. She recalls dating him for just 2 weeks in 8th grade and notes she can't get over him. Nishi immediately concludes that she hasn't had her V-card swiped, but she steps on him and threatens him. Akare, on the other hand, talks about how she wishes to go out with a tall dude. Upon hearing her, Ikki tells her his height, and she praises him for matching the height of her celebrity crush. Ikki's heart skips a beat as he places himself on a pedal stone. A few minutes later, all but a couple head home. Luna and Ryudo then go to an amusement park, and they board the Ferris wheel. Alone, Ryudo stares at Luna and notes he wants to kiss her, but he doesn't know how to tell her. Coincidentally, the same thing goes through Luna's mind, so she tells him about a comic she read where the main couple in it eat marble chocolate and kiss on a Ferris wheel. Ryudo is so dumb that he doesn't realize the green flag, so she grabs the bull by the horn and asks him directly if they should kiss. He agrees, and she walks over to his chair before locking lips with him. They act all lovey-dovey, and she leans in on him, telling him she'd like him some more and would like him to pat her head. He asks her why, and she reminds him that he didn't thank her for their victory in the survival game. He rubs her head and she blushes, telling him she loves it. After that, they leave the park, and on their way, she tells him how happy she is that it'll soon be their 3-month anniversary, and she's glad they are finally doing brand new things together. Ryudo then asks her what she'd like them to do on their 3rd-month anniversary, but she tells him they've had enough of anniversaries and he's all she needs. She tells him that spending days with him together is enough for her, and she has outgrown anniversaries. She then wishes for them to continue that way forever, and then she admits that she might have fallen for him. She runs off and signals to him to join her, and as they run, Ryudo notes that he wants to keep up with her no matter how far she runs. As they hold hands, he realizes that she's always thinking of their future together, so he vows to become a man worthy of her. With that goal in mind, he attends cram school and studies as hard as he can, even though it means refusing to go out with her sometimes. One time at cram school, he sees Maria and quickly goes under his desk to hide from her like she's a play. He crawls his way out of the seats and heads straight for the door. There, Sakiya, an older dude also studying, pulls up and covers for him. Later, they discuss while having iced tea, and he opens up that he rescued Ryudo after noticing how he was running away from Maria. He then asks her who Maria is, and Ryudo, who doesn't have a choice, opens up about her ordeal. Ryudo then asks what he'll do and wonders if Ryudo will keep hiding until exams are over, and Ryudo tells him it's the only option he has. When asked why, he says he doesn't want to get Luna worried, and he had made up his mind to stay away from Maria. To Ryudo's surprise, Sakiya agrees to help him by informing him whenever he spots Maria. They exchange contacts, and Sakiya advises Ryudo to study so he doesn't end up like him. As time passes, their teacher and the class perfect asks for volunteers for the Culture Festival Committee, which will come up not long after their sports festival. No one raises their hands at first, but when Maria does, Luna joins in. Akari then raises her hand, and she nominates Ryudo to assist. Since they need one more person, Ryudo plays the role of a wingman by nominating Iki, who clearly has a crush on Akari. Later that day, as they arrange the classroom for a meeting, Akari complains to Iki about Ryudo and Luna being grouped to join the pamphlet committee. He simply smiles through and accepts everything she says, thinking doing that will get her to play with his sausage. Ryudo, on the other hand, is in a bind as he sits with Akari and Luna. They start the awkward meeting, and he tells them to go through the old pamphlets to get a general idea of what they want to do. Luna then tries to start a conversation with Maria, asking her about her hobbies, but as she speaks with her, Maria has zero idea of what she's waffling about. Ryudo then asks her for the kind of videos she watches, and she speaks about games. They vibe and continue waffling for a while, and that's when Ryudo realizes he's left Luna behind. He fails to bring them together later during cram school as he wonders how to improve the siblings' relationship. Sakiya shows up, and they treat themselves to a bowl of ramen. There, Sakiya explains how he goofed a lot back in high school, and it's what made him take a gap year. Before, he used to be a loser who no one noticed, but ever since he tried looks maxing, he pulled baddies like Vice City's legendary Fanny Magnet. He reveals how he used to look like a dork, and only one girl thought he was cool back then. She was the one who gave him a makeover, and he dated her for a while after he graduated before breaking up with her. Later in school, they commence their second pamphlet meeting, and the girls showcase their designs. Luna goes for a Barbie color type, while Maria sticks with a monochrome one. The two defend their products, stating why it's better than the other, and Ryudo realizes he's in a bind since he's the determinant of which to go with. He quickly cooks up an excuse to save himself and tells the teacher about the girls' conflicting ideas. She tells him to choose before she meets with the sports director. While heading home from cram school, Ryudo runs into Maria and lies to her that he went shopping. He struggles to have normal conversations with her, but she casually opens up to him and tells him the reason she transferred to his school was because she wants to make Luna happy. She had expected Luna to forgive her since she was very kind and showed her to others, but she was shocked when Luna simply looked confused. Maria admits it was why she spread those bad rumors about Luna, and she tried to get in their way. Now she wants to be herself and not be sassy. Ryudo senses the discomfort he has around her as reduced, and he learns that Maria cares a lot about Luna. He almost misses his train after staring at her jugs, but she snaps him back to reality, and he joins her. When they get to their station, he tries leveling up by offering to walk her home, but he trips and loses his aura points. She then sees one of his books, which is from the same cram school she attends, so she asks him about it. To his surprise, she tells him that she's aware he attends the school. She then runs off and notes that he doesn't need to sneak around to avoid her. Later that night, he chats with Luna, and she speaks of how opposite they are, but he silently disagrees, saying she has trouble opening up about her feelings. On sports day, Luna participates in a lot of events. During the track event, she runs and her friends cheer for her. As soon as she hears Ryudo, she pushes herself further and wins the race. They participate in different activities, and during the scavenger race, she picks a note and calls out to Ryudo before running with him. As they continue their race, he notes she's like a sports car and admits he wants to go everywhere with her. They win the race, and she shows him the paper, which reads that she should pick a partner she likes. It makes him very happy. Moments later, her classmates call her over to speak with her mom. Meanwhile, Maria changes into her cheerleading uniform and heads downstairs with Akari. On their way, she tells Akari that her mom promised to show up and was excited to see her. All of a sudden, she sees her happily chatting with Luna and quickly runs off. Aki, her mom, then asks Luna about Maria, so Luna and Ryudo quickly look for her. Ryudo heads to the rooftop while Luna checks around the school building. When he gets to the rooftop, he spots Maria and tells her that her mom is around. She says she's aware, but she cannot understand why her mom, who was supposed to root for her, was with Luna. She then tells him that her mom isn't aware that they are distant in school, and no one knows they are sisters. Ryudo tries to convince her to still show up, but she tells him to leave. She then tries to shun him, saying he doesn't care about her, but he shocks her by revealing he does. He tells her he cares about her because not only is she his babe's sister, but they are also teammates and classmates. Right there, she confesses that she likes him and begs him not to make her like him more, so he should just go. At that point, he cannot debate with her because she explains that she's free to feel however she wants, and she just wants Zero to like him. Meanwhile, Luna listens in on the conversation and is shocked by Maria's reveal. She then walks away dejectedly. After the sports festival, the committee members are asked to pick the design cover for the festival. The teacher admits that both covers are good, but she asks them to make a choice. Ryudo is then called upon to make his decision, and there's no wiggling out of this one now. As much as he'd like to side with Luna, he admits that Maria's own is better, so he picks Maria's design. After the meeting that day, as the couple walks home, Ryudo apologizes to Luna for not picking her design, but she tells him it's fine, and she didn't want him to lie to agree with her. She then walks ahead of him and tells him that Maria might be a better match for him than her. After all, they are both smart, and they have a lot in common. Luna then tells him that she thought he was interesting because he was the very definition of different. But it became so obvious that they were completely different types of people. She concluded he'll be tired of her just like her exes, and their ideals will clash due to their differences. With that, she concludes he might be happier dating Maria instead and reveals she heard their conversation on the rooftop during sports day. Luna feels pained that things didn't go as planned regarding her friendship project with Maria, and her sister wants him too. So she asks him if it's okay for them to be dating, but before he replies to her, she storms off, telling him not to contact her for a while. Ryudo tries to go after her, but he remembers she didn't skip leg day, so he saves up his energy and notes it was their 4th-month anniversary. Meanwhile, Maria looks at the pamphlet and calls Ryudo a dunce for not picking up her sisters. She then recalls how Luna always agreed to her selfish requests and currently wonders what to do since she also likes Ryudo. The next day after school hours, Ryudo submits the pamphlet, and the teacher likes the final product of Maria's work. After he leaves the staff room, he tries texting Maria and plans to update her on the project in cram school. Suddenly, he sees Luna texting someone and agreeing to a meetup. He panics, and as he watches her leave, he notices Nicole is also on duty. She immediately glares at him, and he apologizes like a wimp. But she tells him that she didn't expect him to flop her bestie with the way things were progressing so far. Rather than pushing the matter any further, she calls him a letdown, noting love is like that. Later that day, Akari rushes to him and tells him she saw Luna with an older male, and like most females, she jumps the gun. Ryudo first shows her Mao's picture, believing it was a misunderstanding, but Akari tells him the man was younger. She speaks of the luxurious bag she had seen with Luna and concludes the man must have gotten it for her. Ryudo thanks Akari and tells her he trusts Luna, and he says if Luna eventually moves like that, then it's his fault. As soon as he leaves the cafe, he calls Sakia and asks him to show up at his school festival. On the day of the festival, Ryudo watches as Sakia's aura attracts the ladies, so he tells him to tone it down a little and help him discover who Luna's sugar daddy is. As they walk through the hallway, Sakia asks Ryudo why he chooses not to confront Luna directly, and Ryudo says he doesn't have the balls. Suddenly, Akari spots them, and she exclaims as soon as she sees Sakia. She then informs Ryudo that Sakia was the one she saw with Luna. That's when Sakia learns Luna's name and realizes he's been caught in a huge misunderstanding. Minutes later, inside the cafe, Ryudo bawls his eyes out as he feels betrayed by his cram school buddy. Sakia clears the air by telling him that he isn't Luna's ex but Nicole's. As soon as the realization sets in, Ryudo asks him why he had been meeting up with Luna. He explains that Luna had called out to him one time on his way to cram school, revealing she's Nicole's friend. She had insisted on talking to him despite being late, so she gave him her number. He revealed that she wanted him to see Nicole, and Ryudo chirped in about how Nicole hadn't stopped thinking about him. Sakia tells Ryudo he really hurt Nicole badly, and she used to be such a good girl, but she turned out the way she is because of their breakup. Ryudo encourages Sakia to see Nicole one more time, and he agrees. Suddenly, Ryudo's pals show up and inform him that some dudes are trying to hit on their waifus. Ryudo quickly leaves and urges Sakiya to follow him. By the time they get outside, they see the playboys creeping the girls out, so Ryudo boldly gets Luna out of there. The guys then disturb Nicole for a kiss, but Sakiya shows up and tells them to scram because they are hitting on his girlfriend. He picks her up and apologizes for taking so long, and the stunned mean-looking girl cries. As he hugs her, Nishi loses the light in his eyes while his friends watch. Ikki gets fired up and tells them he'll confess his feelings to Akari. Moments later, they follow him and watch him confess to her. But things didn't go as planned because she turned down his feelings and called him a fat loser who lacked social skills to hang out with her. Akari crushes what's left of his esteem and angrily walks out on him for trying to force his feelings on her. Luna apologizes on her behalf and tells him that Akari takes dating seriously, which is why she'd rather remain friends with most people. Later that day, the three stooges sit and recollect their L's. The boys praise Ryudo, calling him the luckiest who managed to bag a beauty. As they praise him, Ryudo recalls that things aren't the way they think, so he leaves them and rushes to speak to Luna. He rushes into the building looking for her and sees her on the rooftop. They chat lightly and clear up the misunderstanding Akari had caused regarding Sakiya. She tells him Granny Sayo was the one who gave her the bag, and she's glad the misunderstanding came up because Nicole got to be together with Sakiya. She thanks him, but he tells her she was the one who actually took the step to reach out to Sakiya. They speak on love while looking at the band below, and Ryudo tells Luno that life feels long since there are many years to come, unlike the saying where they call it short. He then tells her he wants to spend all that time with her, but she doesn't reply to him. Weeks later, after the summer festival, Ryudo and Luna hang out, and she talks mainly about Nicole and her progress with Sakiya. She then asks about Ikki and Nishi, and he tells her the guys are holed up, wasting their youth while glued to their screens and listening to sad songs. They hope the boys can recover, and they can all hang out again. As they head home, Ryudo suggests they hang out, but Luna tells him they have mock exams to prepare for. They then head their various ways, and Luna notices how cold their relationship has gotten. The following week, Luna and Akari happily chat away, but Nicole comes late, and they notice she's been crying, so they ask her what's up, and she tells them Sakiya dumped her. Luna asks her to explain what had happened, and she tells him that he told her he needed to focus on his entrance exams, so he won't contact her again, and if she messages him, he won't respond, so she should forget about him. She cries as she tells them, and Nishi makes a comment that pisses her off. After school, Ryudo meets with Sakiya and asks him why he broke up with Nicole. He replies as laid back as possible, noting that if he had continued going out with Nicole, they would have progressed beyond holding hands, and he knew she wanted to calm her desires with him. Ryudo gets pissed at him for sounding like a show-off because he could easily pull baddies and clap them, but Sakiya explains to him that if he bagged Nicole, he'd fool around with her a lot till his exams came, and then he'd fail. Ryudo then asks him why he didn't tell her to wait till exams are over, but he tells him that he doesn't want her to waste her precious high school years waiting for him. Ryudo realizes Sakiya cares a lot for her, and he wants her to move on. He then asks Ryudo how things are with Luna, and he admits that they are on the edge. He's so worried he'll say the wrong thing and hurt her again. During that time, Luna calls Nicole to comfort her, but she ends up opening how distant Ryudo has been lately with her, and she's not sure if the relationship can hold on much longer. Later that night, she rushes to hug Nicole, and they cry outside. Luna then makes up her mind. Meanwhile, Ryudo tells Sakiya how he's been very careful around Maria because he doesn't want to worry Luna. Sakiya calls him a greenhorn and says he won't get other ladies, but Ryudo tells him he's fine with Luna as the only girl in his life. After all, he gained a lot of experience thanks to her. Sakiya calls him a finished man, and the old-timer wishes he could go back in time. After their meeting, Ryudo leaves the train station and runs into Maria. As they walk home, he tells her they shouldn't see each other alone anymore. She agrees and tells him that even though her feelings for him can't easily vanish, she can't stop thinking about Luna during sports day. She opens up about how Luna always smiled and gave up things for her, even though they were precious. Maria concludes that Luna might want to let him go with the way things are going. She says she doesn't want that to happen, even though she likes him, because she likes Luna more than that. With that, she agrees with him that they should not see each other anymore. As she turns to walk off, Ryudo calls out to her and tells her that although he has zero experience, it doesn't mean he's never been in love. He reminds her that she was his first love. She thanks him and smiles while tears fall from her eyes. After she leaves, Ryudo calls Luna, and she tells him she has something to say. Suddenly, he hears Maria's scream and sees a robber trying to snatch her bag, so he dashes towards her and checks her out. After that, they go to the police station to file a report, and she realizes her earring is missing. Ryudo leaves the station and speaks to Luna on the phone, briefing her about what had happened. He then tries to explain why he was with Maria, but Luna tells them to meet next Saturday before his prep school, and she also has something to say. The D-Day arrives, and they meet at their spot. Ryudo tries to explain, but she tells him it's okay and tells him they should break up. She says it's not about the incident, but she has realized they aren't compatible. She thanks him for everything, and he wonders if he's also supposed to thank her since he doesn't know how breakups work. They then look around them and see couples having fun, and the memories they spent together flash across their minds. She sees a family and gets emotional as she remembers when she told him she wanted to have one with him. To her surprise, Ryudo cries without restraint and tells her he doesn't want to break up with her. He explains that all he did was tell Maria that he didn't want to see her alone anymore. He then asks Luna why she thinks it was something else. Luna cries and apologizes to him, saying she likes him too much, and it made her scared he'd start hating her. Ryudo tells her to tell him anything she feels, and there's no way he could ever hate her. He hugs her and tells her it's okay for them to make mistakes after all, they are still in their youth, and he wants to make mistakes and grow with her. After hearing his sob story, she holds his cheek and apologizes for being wrong. He cries shamelessly in the middle of the park till a boy knocks some sense into him with a toy car. With that, they laugh again and reconcile. After a few hours, Luna apologizes for letting him miss his prep, but he tells her it's not his first time flunking it. She vows not to slow down and continues at their regular pace, and he promises to catch up with her. The couple then renew their vows with a kiss. After that, Ryudo tells Luna that he can't be friends with Maria like she wants, and she understands, believing that it's also not possible for her, telling him that Maria hates her and once threw away the other earring piece she had given her. Ryudo decides to prove otherwise by taking her along to look for the missing earring. Once he finds it, Luna realizes that Maria actually cares for her, and she thanks him for helping her out. The following week, Maria wins a National Excellence Award, and she's celebrated among her classmates. To their surprise, Luna cheers her on, calling Maria her little sister. She then explains their family ordeal to the class, and they are all shocked. Right after class, Maria drags her out and asks her what she's up to. Luna hands her the missing earring and explains that she and Ryudo found it. She shows Maria her own part and hugs her, saying she should have told her how happy she was when she transferred to her school. Right after they bond, their friends show up, and the guys talk about shooting their shots. During winter, Luna clings to Ryudo like he's going to ghost her in any given moment. She then asks him what they should do on Christmas Eve, and he thinks of her playing with his sausage. Unfortunately, she crashes his plans by asking him to act as a wingman. She explains it better to him in a cafe that she'd like him to show up with her as she tries to bring her parents together again. Luna says it's always been a dream of hers to get her parents back together. She explains the operation to him, how Maria is also in on it, but he wonders if he won't get in her family's way. Luna tells him it's the perfect chance to introduce him to her father. He agrees, and they strategize in school. While at it, Ikki shows up looking like a pop idol, and the entire class nearly freaks out. Akari sees him, and her face turns beet red, so she questions her friends about him. Seeing how invested she is in his new looks, they advise her to ask him out, but she tells them she has to stick to the status quo. Nicole, who is still trying to patch her heart, coldly walks away and heads to the rooftop. There, she wonders if she should block Sakia or not. Suddenly, Nishi shows up and tries to hit on her, but she turns him down, saying she is out of his league and she has a boyfriend. Later, during cram school, Ryudo realizes he'll soon meet Luna's dad, so he nearly soils his pants. On Christmas Eve, he practices his lines and fumbles badly while waiting for Luna. She sees him and teases him a little before taking him to the restaurant. When he gets there, Aki is surprised to see him, and she immediately deduces what her girls have come up with. Left with no choice, she waits for her ex-husband to show up, and when he does, he is stunned to see them all. They are also surprised not with his presence but with the woman by his side. He introduces her to them, and they learn she's his fiancée. The news affects Luna the most as she realizes that her dream of uniting her parents can't happen anymore, so she starts crying. After the awkward meeting, Maria and Aki console her, and Ryudo takes her home. When she gets home, he sees how dark her mood is, so he decides it's best he leaves, but she grabs him and pleads with him not to leave her alone that night. His heart races and he asks her about her dad, but she tells him the old man will be staying out that night. He immediately makes up his mind to leave, else he won't be able to predict the outcome if he stays. Luna latches onto him and cries, not wanting him to leave her alone. He loses his balance and turns off the lights. She clings to him and tells him she doesn't mind if he claps her. Her breathing gets heavier, so the noob hugs her, and that's when he notices how warm she is. He checks her temperature and sees she's burning hot, so he panics before carrying her to her room. He takes care of her, and she tells him she loves him. He then holds her hand and vows to protect her. Meanwhile, Nishi stalks Nicole and plans to confess to her, but she suddenly dashes straight to cram school without checking in and barges into all the classrooms. She eventually gets to Sakia's and sees him slacking off, so she goes to him and tells him she'll wait for him till his exams are over. and even if he tells her no, she won't listen. She then leaves the building, but he chases after her and hands his muffler. At that point, Nishi sees he has no chance, so he hurriedly heads home so he doesn't miss this recap. Maria, on the other hand, hopes her sister is okay, but she relaxes a bit after remembering she went home with Ryudo. By the next morning, Luna feels better, and she thanks Ryudo for his help so far. She tells him she's glad she has him all to herself that Christmas morning. She then hands him a present, and he sees they are good luck charms. Luna explains that she got them for him to help him with his college entrance exams. He thanks her and promises to keep them with him at all times. He then goes to change into a Santa outfit and then hands her present. She silently looks at the weirdo at first, but then laughs and tells him her dad used to do the exact gag. She opens up her present and sees that he got her moonstone earrings. She smiles happily and states that her dad is no longer her Santa and Ryudo is now the one who brings her happiness. She thanks him and assures him that she'll be fine and will be able to accept her dad's happiness. As she tries the earrings, Ryudo has a monologue, saying they have to cherish life despite it being full of pain and other things they know nothing about yet. They have to keep moving forward to keep laughing together forever. Some hours later, Luna calls Nicole and tells her about her family dilemma. She then narrates how Ryudo didn't even feast his eyes on her milkers despite them being alone. Nicole then tells her it's probably because of her fever. She senses Luna's frustration and asks her if she finally wants to get her kitty stuffed. And Luna tells her she's unsure, but her mind is always filled with cleaning Ryudo's pipe. Nicole listens to her and tells her it's love. She explains that Luna has always worked hard to like the guys who said they liked her, but now she has finally found true love, which is her first, and it's with Ryudo. Luna then realizes that she has a first time she can still share with him. During the holidays, she goes on a date with him and asks him if he's into role plays, but he stammers like crazy, and she realizes he's one of those closet guys. She then cosplays as a bunny girl and takes thirsty photos with him. Surprised, he asks her what's up with her, and she tells him she wants to get blood flowing into his Snickers so that she can snack on it. He's stunned by her assertiveness, and she seizes the chance to peck him on the cheek, and their photo is taken. That's the end of today's video. If you stayed until now, comment down below if you think you'd smash or pass Maria. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want me to post Mira's Unplotted. But don't forget to check out the next video with lots of hand lotion. It might just be your new favorite anime recap. Stay focused. Peace.